Natalie Portman has been in the business since she was a young girl and has delivered countless incredible performances, been a part of massive franchises, and even managed to win herself an Oscar. Starting at the age of 12 with an unforgettable performance in Leon, the Professional, and picking up a coveted Harvard education and a relentless barrage of Star Wars prequel backlash along the way, Portman has emerged as one of the finest actors in film history. Given her astonishing career over the years, it's no surprise that Portman is one of the most sought-after actors around. Here are 10 things you probably didn't know about the stunning and talented actress. She turned down a modeling career. Natalie Portman is a talented actress who has worked steadily in the entertainment industry for decades, but when she was first scouted, it was to be a model. She was just 10 years old when she got discovered at a pizza shop by a beauty scout of Revlon Cosmetics and thought she would be perfect for a modeling career and encouraged her to do so. Even though she was so young, she gathered the courage to tell the agent that she doesn't want to model but would be open to acting. Her debut was an instant success. Leon, the Professional remains one of her best movies. She changed her name. Prior to signing on to her 1994 debut film Leon, the Professional, she changed her last name from Hirschlag to her grandmother's maiden name, Portman. This was done for privacy reasons to keep her and her family safe at the time, since she was so young. Ever since then, she has never looked back and has been referred to as Natalie Portman both personally and professionally. She speaks more than one language. Portman was born in Jerusalem to an Israeli father and an American mother, but was raised in Jericho, New York, from the age of 3. Since she has lived in America nearly her whole life, she's fluent in English, but she was raised in a household that also spoke Hebrew. She learned to speak Hebrew when she attended a Jewish elementary school in Long Island. In the spring of 2004, she returned to Israel to take graduate courses at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem. She is also credited to be able to speak a conversational level of German, Spanish, Japanese, and French. Her role in Star Wars almost ruined her career. Portman played the role of Padme Amidala in the Star Wars series, but according to the actress, the role did more harm than good for her career. It turns out that a role as Amidala convinced Hollywood film directors that Portman couldn't act to save her life. She told New York Magazine, "Star Wars had come out around the time of Seagull, and everyone thought I was a horrible actress. I was in the biggest grossing movie of the decade, and no director wanted to work with me." Mike wrote a letter to Anthony Minghella and said, "Put her in Cold Mountain, I vouch for her." And then Anthony passed me on to Tom Tykwer, who passed me on to the Wachowskis. Luckily, this worked, and it didn't take long for directors to see that Portman was indeed a talented actress and one that could turn almost any movie into a huge hit. She was too young to play Juliet. Portman auditioned for the role of Juliet in the film adaptation of Romeo plus Juliet, but lost out to Claire Danes because producers thought that she would look too young to star opposite Leonardo DiCaprio. In an interview with the New York Times, Portman said that Fox didn't like how it looked when DiCaprio was kissing her. She proved her dedication for Black Swan. One of Natalie Portman's most iconic and well-received roles is for her starring role in Black Swan. She even received an Academy Award for her work in the Stark film. Of course, this film was also the most physically and emotionally demanding that Portman had to handle. To prepare for her role as the overly ambitious Nina, Portman went to dangerous extremes. She became waif-like on a diet of just carrots and almonds and spent up to 8 hours a day learning ballet and rehearsing. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, she said, "There were some nights that I thought I literally was going to die. It was the first time I understood how you could get so wrapped up in a role that it could sort of take you down." She was forced to take Thor: The Dark World. Natalie Portman entered the Marvel Cinematic Universe as American astrophysicist and Thor love interest Jane Foster in the first standalone Thor movie in 2011. The film was a hit, and the sequel Thor: The Dark World was scheduled to hit the big screen in 2013. Portman became elated with the news that Patty Jenkins would helm the sequel. However, Jenkins later left the project because of creative differences. The MCU brought on Alan Taylor to replace Jenkins behind the camera. The move reportedly upset Portman so much that she wanted out of the sequel. However, the Academy Award-winning actress had signed a multi-picture deal with Marvel and was contractually obligated to appear in The Dark World. Portman was able to exit the MCU before the film's third installment Thor: Ragnarok. However, the Black Swan actress had a change of heart and re-entered the MCU a few years later. Foster will have an even bigger role and get to wield her own hammer as the God of Thunder in 2022's Thor: Love and Thunder. She has her own production company. Actors and actresses have spoken out about the lack of diversity with regards to roles and how it was a male-dominated industry. However, rather than simply whining about it, Portman has decided to actually make a difference. With her husband, the talented actress has created her own production company, named Handsome Charlie Films, whose focus is to create more roles for women. She told Vogue, "We're trying to go for that guy movie tone, like Judd Apatow's movies or The Hangover, but with women who are generally not allowed to be beautiful and funny, and certainly not vulgar." She's a vegan. At the age of 8, she gave up eating meat out of respect for life, and in 2009 she became a vegan after reading Jonathan Safran Foer's Eating Animals, although she briefly went off of her vegan diet when she was pregnant. She's pretty serious about her diet. She won't wear any clothes, shoes, or accessories that are made with fur, feathers, or leather. She co-authored 2 scientific papers. Not only is Portman an amazingly talented actress who has won an Oscar for her performance in the 2010 drama and mystery film Black Swan, she has also graduated from Harvard with a psychology degree. But it turns out that Portman was a very serious and hardworking student, not only in college, but also in high school. She maintained a straight A average and investigated the various possibilities of turning waste into useful energy. The research for the latter she eventually used for co-authoring a scientific paper. She co-authored her first scientific paper when she was still in her sophomore year in high school. The paper was called A Simple Method to Demonstrate the Enzymatic Production of Hydrogen from Sugar, which won her a semi-finalist position at Intel Science Talent Search. In 2001, while attending Harvard, Portman co-wrote another paper titled Frontal Lobe Activation During Object Performance: Data from Near-Infrared Spectroscopy,